Hi there guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button at the bottom and the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos that are coming up. So in today's video, I'm going to just be taking you through my presentation that I am doing this morning for SAGIA, and SAGIA is the South African Graduate Employers Association. So this presentation is with graduates. We're talking about learning, unlearning, and relearning, and reimagination in the future of work, and how building unlearning as a skill is absolutely key. Now, I'm not going to give you all of the juice that I gave to them in the presentation, but I'd actually like to take you behind the scenes so you can see how I prepared for this presentation and some of the main points that were a part of it so that you can get some of that amazing juice. Let's go. Got some unlearning to do? Hi there, I'm Zanele Njapa, known to my clients as the Unlearning Lady, a past primary school teacher and now the world's leading voice on using key unlearning principles to self-disrupt, get unstuck, and transition successfully. Okay, so this is it. This is basically where I set up for my presentations. You'll see that this is where I set up for my virtual presentations. So when I've got a client who doesn't need me to come on site, I will set up in my studio, I'll call it that. And I'll just literally just show you where I am. You'll see up here, if you've ever seen any of my videos, you'll see that I usually have my 3 friends over there, my butterflies. There is another one. There, my 4 friends, my butterflies. I like having the butterflies in the vicinity because the butterfly is actually my spirit animal or my totem animal. I really learn a lot from the butterfly, and the butterfly for me is so indicative of my work. I use the butterfly and the caterpillar as images that represent the work that I do because the butterfly has got such an interesting life cycle with everything that it goes through, the transformation, the change that the butterfly goes through. So you might see my butterflies on my marketing and all sorts of things that I do. So just in case you're wondering, I actually once had a client who asked me, why do you have a butterfly on your wall for this presentation? And I went, don't worry about the butterfly, just worry about the message. The butterfly is always going to be there. Even if it's not on the wall, it'll always be in my heart. So I channel a lot from the butterfly and the butterfly's energy. Okay, cool. So basically, this is where I will sit. I've actually sitting on a nice short chair. And I usually start off with a cup of coffee. I'm not an addict. I wouldn't say I'm an addict, but I do like to have my coffee before a presentation because I find that it helps me to focus a little bit better, but then it also helps me to feel like I'm on top of my game. And I'd actually like to show you the mug that I'm using to drink my coffee today. In December of 2021, I went away on a very special trip with someone who's very dear to me. And we found a place that lets you paint a ceramic mug, and then they will glaze it over and deliver it and courier it to you. So this is the one that I created. It's really cute. And let me just zoom it in. See what I told you about the butterfly? Yes. So I actually drew that. Had a bit of support, but that was all me. And it's got a yellow rim there, and it's dark on the inside. So it's got a beautiful butterfly on the front. And then on this side, there is an owl. So the owl is my other totem animal. So the butterfly represents a lot of my energy around transformation, growth, my wings, stepping into my power. And then the owl represents the other side of me. So I have a lot of this energy around, I don't want to say darkness because it sounds strange, but this energy of, oh goodness, what's the right word here? Because if I say something, it can be easily misinterpreted. But the owl represents just such wisdom, such knowledge, such alignment. And when I drink from this mug, because I made the decision this year, actually, after when they delivered this mug to me this year, that every time I have a virtual presentation, I'm going to drink my coffee out of that mug. Because when I look at the owl, I'm able to remind myself that I want to constantly be bringing in wisdom, be a channel for wisdom in the conversations that I have with my clients online. And then the butterfly is that I'm here to bring transformation. I'm here to help people to transform, to change. I'm here just to be a facilitator of people's transformations from caterpillars to butterflies and then caterpillars to butterflies again. So yeah, so cheers, guys. Cheers, yeah. This is actually a what is it? A marshmallow latte, something like that, but a cappuccino. It's really delicious. I actually just bought like the entire pack with the sachets. It's amazing. I hadn't, had it before, but I had it this time and I thought, we're totally gonna do that again because it's just that amazing. Okay, let's cut to business. So maybe let me speak a little bit about me and how I'm looking today, and then we'll move on. Now, if you've ever been a part of a presentation that I have facilitated or I have delivered, or a keynote that I have delivered, you've probably noticed that my dress code is very different from what a lot of people do. So initially when I started this work, I used to think I had to be super formal when I dressed up for a corporate event, and I had to just put on lots of makeup and huge earrings and this huge necklace and just be this formal lady. And then I realized that, as the unlearning lady, I play the role of helping people to challenge those assumptions around how we're supposed to look. But also, I really wanted everything to be authentic. When I teach my message, I wanted to come out authentically. And being dressed in a way that's super comfortable for me, but super respectful to my clients, helps me to come across authentically. So what I do usually, I will slap on my little pearls. You see, I've got my pearls on. I'll do my little pearls because they remind me of that classiness, that ladylikeness that I still have inside of myself, that a lot of people will probably pick up when they speak to me to say I'm a bit ladylike, whatever that means. And so that's often why I will put on the pearls, but they're simple. That's what I like about the pearls. They're super simple. If you've ever been in one of my presentations, you've probably seen that I just wear the pearl earrings. I might wear something else, but very, very rarely. Usually I'll just jump to the pearls. And then next, today I chose, it's really, really hot in South Africa today, specifically in Durban today. So I chose to just wear this beautiful top here. It's tiny, it's breathable, but because also, and one of the things that helps me to determine how I dress for my keynotes or how I dress for my sessions, especially the online ones, is who I'm speaking to. So today I'm speaking to graduates. I'm speaking to people that are fresh, young, and not necessarily young, but fresh individuals coming into workspaces. They are eager, they are excited, they are energetic. And so when I dress, I really want to extend an invitation to them to be that, to be themselves, to see that in me as well. Because let's face it, I'm not a baby boomer. I am a zillennial, so hybrid between a Gen Z and a millennial. And that's the brand that I really want to come across in everything that I do. Even if you're watching my videos or you're seeing me doing something, I really want to be true to the fact that, yes, I am young and I want that youthful energy always to come through. So I thought I would just share that because, we have so many people that dress in different ways for their work. But for me, that's one thing that I've loved to stay true to, is to dress in a way that makes me feel comfortable enough to share my message, not only through my words, but share my message through the way that I look, so that I am what I teach. Yeah, so I hope that helps anyone who's been wondering, why should you dress like that for a corporate presentation? So that's who my audience is today. It's those amazing grads who are so excited about life, so excited about entering the workforce. So let me show you maybe just a little bit of what what I'm actually doing, and then I'll just show you the main slide, and then I'll take you through what the gist of this presentation was, and then we'll sort of wrap up on the main points and we'll close off. Okay, so this is the opening slide. And you'll see, I love this image. It's just such a cute one. And the title of the presentation was An Invitation to Unlearn and Relearn. So like I said earlier on, really a huge conversation about helping these grads to think about how to build the skill of unlearning in this new world of work as they step into a context as knowledge workers that's constantly changing, a world that is, I don't want to say unforgiving, but so fast-paced at unprecedented levels. What are some of the things they can do to build the capacity to unlearn so they can jump from one way of doing things to another in the best way possible. This is my webcam. I've used this webcam for quite a while-ish now, a few months. It's been a good few months, and I find it good, but I really do want to sort of upgrade in the coming weeks or months from that one. But it's pretty good. It's fairly good. I find that it makes my image come across nice and clearly. I'm happy with it. There isn't a problem with that. So that's the title of the presentation. So let's talk a little bit about some of the key mindsets or points. In case you are also a grad and you're looking at this video, I'm not going to present the entire thing to you because unfortunately, yes, that is reserved for the client who paid for that presentation. So what I'm going to give you is just some of the main talking points that I think maybe even just one thing to go away with that you can say, okay, so Zanele spoke to a group of grads today and the main thing she was sharing with them is this, and you can take the same away from that. Okay, cool. So the biggest thing was speaking around the context of the future of work, really helping them to understand that unlearning in this new world of work is about opening up your focus. So narrowing our focus can be really great for us, but then also when we open ourselves up to seeing a lot more than what we're usually looking at, that's when true innovation, that's when true insight truly happens. So that was the first thing. How do we open ourselves up to seeing things differently, to being exposed to sources that we haven't previously been exposed to? All outside of just being tech focused. Even though our work might be tech focused, but it's important to understand that any given change in an organization, any given unlearning in an organization has its stimulus in so many different places, so many different factors that are going on in the marketplace, in the world, in the economy at any given time. Okay, cool. So that's that. And then the second thing, which it might actually just be the biggest thing, and then we can close off, is just thinking about the difference that it makes to be a lifelong learner. How do you really think about lifelong learning and put yourself in a position, especially as someone who's coming in fresh into the workplace, really eager to make a change, really eager to lead initiatives, strategy, conversations, projects in the workplace that are going to really help drive the conversation of innovation forward? Being a lifelong learner is one of the best skills that you can have. So I shared a bunch of different things. I shared amazing examples with them because, yes, like I said, they requested me to come in. So lifelong learning was one of the biggest points that were made during the presentation. And one of the ones I want to share with you today is think about how you can become a lifelong learner by identifying where your gaps are. When I sit in conversations with some of my coaching clients who are transitioning in the workplace, that's one of the big conversations we have. It's the conversation of what are your gaps? Learn to identify where the gaps are in any given moment, whether these are knowledge gaps, whether these are skill gaps, sometimes these are value gaps, or even perspective and mindset gaps as well. So start by asking yourself, where are my gaps right now? And then once you've identified those gaps, you really want to sit down with yourself and brainstorm how you can begin to fill those, or how you can begin to close up those gaps with different insights, with different networks, with different platforms, and even conversations that will help you. So for example, if I realized that as I'm moving into the space of my industry, maybe in the future, I'm going to need to be able to function with a particular system. Maybe I'm going to need to be able to use a certain kind of software. Then what I'm going to ask myself is, what are the gaps? What are the gaps that I'm going to need to fill that are now opening up as I start to think about where my industry is going? And those might be actual tangible skills gaps. If that's the case, then do you need to perhaps be skilled or have a certain level of coding ability, or maybe writing code or programming in a certain area? That might be a gap for you to transition from where you are to where you want to be. So you want to look at, how do I close that gap? Maybe another one might be communication or interpersonal skills or those types of things. Are you going to need to be able to communicate in a different way with people? Then you look at how you can close that gap. Does that mean that I need to become a lot more savvy of a networker and building those connections with people? And asking yourself constantly, what are the gaps that have now opened up? Because the pace at which our world is moving, there will always be gaps that are opening up. And you want to be living in a space where you're just saying, okay, How far along now do I need to go? What do I need to close up now? Where do I need to build my competence and build my capacity now, where I am, based on where I want to be? So that was one of the points that were made that was so exciting. I find grad work so exciting. And this is, I can't emphasize this enough, just how much I enjoy working with individuals that are just coming into the workforce, because I remember coming into my teaching job that I used to do a few years ago. And I remember coming in as a fresh teacher. I was so excited to make a difference, to change things, to innovate, to do things differently with the children that I'd imagined would be amazing in impacting them and facilitating the conversations I wanted us to have in the classroom so that those children could learn, but also learn how to learn. And when you come in with that mentality, you're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And it's so easy to allow that to cloud you. So I think if anyone is a grad and they're watching this, or maybe you're just new at work, fresh out of university or college, you really want to be aware of the fact that you are coming from a very different context. But then also you are going to need to unlearn so many things that you've been taught in university, in school, in high school, about what it means to work, but also that you've been taught by your parents. I find that in the first year or so,